Morning. Welcome back to EMS grade 9. In this video, we want to look at economic systems, and we are going to look at a question that is on economic systems. So, economic systems shows how resources are allocated and also shows the distribution of goods and services. So, at the end of the day, we see that economic systems uh, indicate uh, the owners of the resources, that is the orders of factors of production that we gave. So you remember we've got different types of economic systems, whereby we have the planned economic system, we also have market economic system, and also we have got the mixed economic system. So basing on that, we are going to go to our question part and try to see the questions that we have according to this video. So we have our question 2 that we want to look at, that is on economic systems. So if you look at the first question that we have, it is labeled the three images below by identifying the economic CNC. But we know that the economic system that is related to the government, we know that the economic system related to the government is a planned economic system whereby the government is responsible for allocation of resources and distribution of goods and services. And basically, we are saying the government represents ownership of resources. So basically, that's what we have. And decisions in the economy are being made by the government under planned economic system. So we are saying A is representing a planned economic system. And then if we go to B, you'll see that we have, which means there is a combination of public and private, and public represents the government, and then private represents individual ownership. So basically, we are seeing that it's a combination of both the government and private. So basically, when we have such a scenario, we call it mixed economic system. Mixed economic system. So B represents mixed economic system. Then we go to C, whereby we are seeing a cartoon with a sign of money, which is a dollar. So basically, we know that the economic system that is profit motivated, that has a motive of making a profit, is the market economic system, whereby there is private ownership of resources, and individuals can run businesses, can operate businesses with the main aim of making a profit. So that is the characteristics that describe the market economy. So basically, we have the market economic system represented by C. So we have the market. So from there, we go to the second part of our question, which is 2.2. And 2.2 reads, compare a planned economy to a market economy by referring to one advantage and one disadvantage of both economic systems. Complete the table in the answer book. So we have planned and we have also market economy, and we are supposed to come up with one advantage of planned and one disadvantage of planned, and the same applies to market economy. So if you go to our answer section, you're going to see that we've got various advantages that we can deduce from our plans that are listed there. But obviously, our question requires us to respond with one of each in terms of advantage and disadvantage. So remember, in the planned economy, we said there is government intervention. So obviously, there is equity in terms of income distribution. So basically, that becomes an advantage from the point of view of the public or citizens of the country. So basically, that is an advantage. And also, we are going to see that also in terms of disadvantages, we can explain it from the point of view of the consumers, whereby we are saying the government is the only producer of goods and services that we have in the planned economy. And we are going to see that consumers are going to face a disadvantage in terms of a limited choice base in terms of the goods that are being produced. They're only coming from one producer. So there is no freedom of choice. So basically, that's how we can come up with the disadvantage. So if you go to our other section, we have those advantages and disadvantages listed. So other advantages are under planned economy. We've got economic equality, as we have explained that since there's government intervention, it's going to reduce the gap between the high income earners and the low income earners. In other words, we are saying the gap between the rich and the poor is going to be reduced through income redistribution, whereby the rich are going to be taxed, and then the income is redistributed to the poor through grants. So basically, that's what we have. Then second advantage of planned economy that we have is the basic needs of citizens are satisfied. Remember, the planned economy's main objective is service delivery. So obviously, it's going to benefit the citizens of the country. So next one, we've got a stable economic system. And then lastly, we've got healthcare, education, and equality are seen as important. So these are some of the advantages. Then look at disadvantages of planned economy, where we're saying there is no competition. Remember, the government is monopolizing in terms of operations in the economy. So there is no competition. Remember, when there's competition, it's going to enhance the quality of products that are being produced. The firms will be our producers will be competing with one another. So at the end of the day, quality of the products is going to be enhanced. So when there's no competition, it also means it's going to limit in terms of quality of those products. Then we go to poor quality products, which is emanating from the issue of no competition. Then we've got no profit motive, which is also a negative scenario that we have when we've got no profit motive. Remember, when there's no profit motive, it means even efficiency in terms of utilization of resources is also going to be compromised. Since we are saying there is no profit motive, they are only concerned about a service delivery, about making sure that the consumers get the products, but they are not concerned about maximizing the profit. So through maximizing profit, we are going to see that we are going to deduce many benefits. Then I will see that last one is saying system cannot adapt to change quickly, and that is the last disadvantage that we have. Then on the market economy also, in terms of advantages, the first advantage that we have in market is that entrepreneurs can start their own business that's creating wealth. So it's going to enhance even the standard of living of the citizens of the country, since they can now operate their own business and make profit, and then they invest their quality of life. So basically, that's what we have on the first point. And then our second point is that capital is used to start these businesses. Profits are driven. And then last one, efficient use of resources. We have explained the issue of efficient. It's also emanating from the issue of competition, that they're competing between one another. And through that competition, there is a motive to maximize profits. And then through that motive, there is efficient utilization of resources so that they maximize their profit. So basically, that's what we have. The disadvantage of market economy, citizens with access to capital have an advantage. That becomes a disadvantage under market economy, whereby we are saying we are only going to see a few benefiting, since we are saying those that have access to the resources are the ones that are going to benefit. Those without access, they are not going to benefit, which is not a scenario under plan whereby the government can intervene and close the gap between the two. So that's what we have. Then we've got next one, exploitation of labor can occur. It can occur, and there is no mediator that is in between to say the labor cannot be exploited. So that's the scenario that we have, which is different from a plant whereby the government can intervene and make sure that the labor force is not exploited. The last point, non-profitable goods and services such as healthcare and education are not provided. So that becomes the last disadvantage that we have. Then we move on to the next question that we have, which reads, read the quote below, answering the question. So they've got a quote which reads, before you finish eating breakfast this morning, you have depended on more than half the world. And then 2.3.1, discuss two advantages or benefits of globalization. So maybe obviously we need to understand what exactly do we mean by globalization. But we know that globalization is the process by which ideas and knowledge, information, goods and services spread around the world. So basically we are saying the interaction that takes place between a country with other countries is globalization. So it is the process by which businesses or other organizations develop international influence or start operating on an international scale. That is globalization. Or we can try to define it from another point of view by saying it is the process of increasing interdependence and integration among economies. That is globalization. So the brief description of globalization is that the interaction that takes place between different economies is globalization. It might be interaction in terms of exchange of ideas. It might be interaction of exchange of knowledge. It might be interaction, exchange of information, or exchange of goods and services. It all describes globalization. So our question is just to come up with advantages, two advantages or benefits of globalization. So obviously, we have noticed many benefits that we can deduce from globalization. So we have them listed here, whereby we are saying we are going to experience increased market size, as we are saying our companies or businesses that are producing in our local economy are going to have their market size increase, as they are going to engage other countries as part of their market. So it's going to increase. They're going to sell outside the country, which means the market is now expanding outside the country. So it will increase. So our second point that we have is free flow of capital. which is a movement of resources. Capital is a resource. So movement of resources between countries also can also benefit other countries that are not having those resources in their country. Then we've got the next one, access to a wider variety of products. We are going to see that even the consumers are also going to benefit since they're going to have their choice base being widened as they are going to choose to products that are also being produced outside the country. So access to a wider variety of products is a benefit from the point of view of consumers. Then we have got a free movement of labor as a resource again, which we can try to combine with this point that we have here of capital, because our labor and capital, they are both resources, they are both factors of production. Then we go to specialization. Through globalization, specialization will come into play, whereby a country which is a competitive advantage in producing another product will specialize on that product, and then others will specialize the product on other products. So it becomes a specialization, which will obviously increase world output, which is a benefit at a global scale. So we go to the last point, which is saying free trade between countries. It's also something that we can deduce from globalization. Free trade, we are saying this is trade without restrictions. No restrictions on the international boundaries. That is free trade. So this is what we have as the last point. But if you go back to our question, you would see that our question is requiring only two points that we can just try to choose from the list of points that we have there. So thank you for listening, and hopefully the video was helpful. And please, let's not forget to subscribe and share to our channel. Let's not forget to share the link to our colleagues who are doing EMS grade 9. More videos are going to come. More questions and typical examination questions are going to be uploaded on this channel. So let's stay tuned. Let's stay tuned by subscribing and turning on the notification button so that when there are new uploads, you get notified. Let's meet again in the next video. As for this video, I'm out.